Yes, I'm finally making this episode. And by the way, for those who are watching this a year later, I'm so sorry that it's been so long. It's basically because I've been slacking off this episode because I thought of an idea between, like, a planned episode, and I thought it'd be like a little episode in between. So I've been writing on it, and it wasn't like in the original story sort of thing. But I added it, and it's taken forever to make it because, number one, time. I haven't had time to write it. And number two, I've kind of been slacking off because I didn't really have, much for this chapter. But after listening to a few Dracula songs and lip-singing them and stuff like that, I'm good. And I promise I will finish this story. And there is a lot more in store for Victor and his little pack of vampires, and Luna and her little pack of non-vampires. Migraines. Luna. I said. Luna. Luna! I groaned and opened an eye. There was Twilight Sparkle, shaking me awake from my vertical position. I groaned and pushed her away with my wing. Twilight came back over and shook me again. Come on, princess! I groaned and stretched my wings. Now, don't get me wrong. I do like Twilight Sparkle most of the time. I'm happy to see my sister's pupil. But when surrounded by fake friends at a place that you just can't stand, it can make one awfully irritable. I flew to the ground and yawned. Twilight Sparkle smiled. Glad to see you up, princess, she said gleefully while gathering her materials. Good evening, princess, Fluttershy said softly. Good evening, Fluttershy, I said while sitting down and rubbing my head. Fluttershy came closer. Are you okay, princess? Yeah, I just have a little headache, that's all, I said reassuringly. That was a lie. I'd woken up with more of a migraine than anything else. My head was hurting and pounding like a drum, which probably was the real source of my crankiness this morning. Yet we had a lot more important things to worry about than my little headache, so I refused to tell them any more than just a little headache. Fluttershy persisted, but I reassured her that I was fine. Oh, okay then, she said, if you say so. Are you ready? Twilight asked. I stood up. As ready as I'll ever be. This was the worst part of the night. Starting it. And walking amongst the very same creatures that made me Nightmare Moon. Yeah. You could say that I have a grudge. As we walked down the hallways to Twilight's study spot, she has several. I looked around suspiciously, and I swear that I caught a few devious looks. I squinted my eyes. It was almost as if they knew what was to be our fate. Twilight's study spot tonight was, for some reason, outside tonight. Great. Why? Well, number one, there were more vamponies out there, which means more opportunities for a bite. And number two, we had to pass Victor's throne room in order to get there. Yeah. While we passed it, somehow, my headache increased. I closed my eyes and winced, but when we passed from the closed door, it decreased. I looked back at the door with an arched eyebrow and squinted eyes. The open air seemed to do me good as I breathed it in. Being in a stuffy castle all this time, the open air was quite refreshing. It reminded me of the walk Celestia and I would have in the gardens not long after my return from the moon. I still think about it sometimes. Being up there, alone and broken. Being the monster of the shadows, with my twisted sight blinded by my emotions and the darkness that had grown slowly inside of me. All that, just for affection. I hardened my gaze as we walked down the path. Never again would I be that naive and stupid. Never again. Twilight Sparkle liked to stop by this area because it was like a little marketplace. Oh, Twilight loved to talk and ask questions to the natives there. She even bought a few things here to examine. They were always so cordial and polite. I scowled as I was being cordial back. It was always hard to tell if they were really cordial or if they were faking it. I had decided even before this trip not to trust any of them, just in case. Well, that is except myself. The marketplace was full today, full of possible liars and deceptive doers, just holding back their unruly ways for the right moment to pounce. While Twilight chatted with a shopkeeper, I looked around. My eyes fell on one with a brown cloak. I raised an eyebrow. The pony or vampony was starting to leave the marketplace. I decided to follow. After making a hasty explanation to Twilight, I trotted a little to catch up. The pony seemed to be headed towards the woods. I blinked my eyes in confusion. Why the woods? Every vampony slept and hung out in the castle or in the courtyard. So, why? I ran into the woods after her. As I ran, I tripped over something. Of course, I quickly got up so I wouldn't lose it. But I fell over again. I looked down behind me. My leg was caught in some kind of vine. Naturally, I lighted my horn and tried to pull the vine off. Hastily. But my magic didn't work. I didn't have the patience to figure out why, so I struggled, I pulled, I grunted, but the vine wouldn't break. I closed my eyes as I struggled to be free from this stupid vine. Suddenly, the vine let me go. I stumbled over from the shock of freedom. I quickly looked behind me. The pony in the brown cloak was holding an upside-down bottle, dripping with water over the plant.